Hey, what's going on, beautiful jellyfish? It's Tracy. I'm here with a special guest.
Hi, it's Logan.
Hi, this is my friend Logan, and we're going to be talking about Logan's Wort deck. So, Logan, talk to us a little bit about this deck. What do you like about it? Why'd you build it? What's your story?
This is actually a rebuilt version of my first commander deck, which was Grenzo, the mono red one. That one was a token goblin strategy, mono red. It was just supposed to kill you real fast. But then I decided I wanted two colors because mono red gets shut down by propaganda. So of course I chose the only other color that with no enchantment hate. And I chose Wort because she returns goblins and they die easy. So it's a Goblin Aristocrats deck. Goblins die and you bring them back and you get value from them. That's the deck.
Yeah, the deck is really sweet. How many lands do you run in this deck? Do you know?
Don't know.
Okay,
It has
cool.
been a while since I've counted my lands.
No worries. I'm going to count them really quick as we start to talk about the cards so I can update y'all on them. Also, Logan, do you have a copy of this deck that we could put in the down bar below?
No.
Okay, we will get that for you. Yeah, I'm a professional YouTuber. Don't worry about me. Okay, cool. So this is Wort. First, let's start talking about artifacts. So the first, Skull Clamp.
Skull Clamp is one of the best artifacts in Magic, arguably. You get to pay one, sacrifice a creature, and draw two cards. That's what the card reads. Don't worry about what it actually says. And my goblins die all the time. I make a lot of tokens, so getting to draw cards is super sweet, especially since I've only got like 3 sources of card draw in this deck. So drawing a bunch is awesome.
It's not a whole lot to say. Skull Clamp is one of the best artifacts.
Yeah.
Okay, this card is fire. Herald's Horn.
Herald's Horn is a new card in the deck, and it's incredibly good. I only have a couple sources of card draw, and this is one of them. It also reduces goblin costs, and since you're casting them all the time and recasting them all the time, that's very important.
Yeah, I love Herald's Horn. I talked about it in my EDH cards worth the money. This card is amazing. Definitely needs a reprint.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. The next is Urza's Incubator. I'm so happy you run this card. I run this card in Angels, and it's very good and very underrated that I've underplayed too.
You know what? Urza's Incubator, when I bought this, it was only a couple bucks. It was just a couple dollars, and then the tribal commander decks came out and it shot up. So this card is worth every penny, though. Getting to cast all of your goblins for essentially only the colored part is very good.
Yeah, and I think one thing I like about this deck a lot, Logan, that I've seen is it's kind of a more mid-rangey strategy, which I think is good. But this kind of helps you put pressure on early, which I think is really important.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, cool. The next is Pillar of Origins. I actually don't know what this card does. Oh, interesting. I've never seen this card before.
It's pretty sweet. Black and red has a hard time ramping, so getting any 2-mana ramp out is really good since you can get Ward out on turn 3. You want to get Ward out pretty early so that you can start sacrificing your stuff and getting it out as fast as possible, because that's where all the value comes from.
Yeah. Absolutely. This is a really, really interesting card. I'm happy to know about this. So for tribal fans, that might be a good card for you. And seems to be probably sense.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Then we have Rakdos Clue Stone.
Rakdos Clue Stone is a worse Rakdos Signet, but worse Rakdos Signet is still pretty good.
Let's actually talk about Rakdos Signet together, because
Yeah,
these cards
the
are
same card.
pretty similar. Yeah. You have a foil Rakdos Signet?
It's so sweet.
Oh, y'all, that's sexy. Okay.
Cool. They ramp you up. Rakdos Signet, of course, can get Ward out on turn 3, which is really good. Rakdos Clue Stone, though, is still just as good. Getting to draw a card is pretty sweet in the late game when you don't need the mana. But just getting to ramp up to get all your goblins out that's the only reason you play it, really. I
also feel like this deck, too, you colorless mana is not super good for you. I feel like goblins tend to be more... Yeah, you have a lot of doubles, your black and your red is super important, that I think it's important to make sure you're not running, a Worn Power Stone, for example, over, cards like these.
Absolutely.
Cool. I'm not gonna lie, I'm judging you a little bit on this Soul Ring. I like the white border, but I don't like this art.
You know, it's not my favorite art. I really like the Kaladesh Invention art, but I mean, I don't think I'm quite ready to commit to that. I don't think I'm ready for that one.
You're not ready to commit to that Magic card place. I love it.
But it's the white border. I like white borders, and I was going for old school with a lot of these cards, so there's a lot of white borders and old arts.
Logan is the one person who truly gets me in life, and leave me a comment below if you like white borders too. Let us know that we're not alone, because
white borders are cool.
Not a lot of people like them.
But it's Sol Ring. It's nothing else you need to say. Sol Ring is a great Magic card.
Run it in every deck.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna actually put these together because they're solidly similar. Phyrexian Altar and Ashnod's Altar.
These the mana fixing or the mana ramping is nice with these cards, but really it's the free sacrifice outlet. That's the important part. I will often sacrifice my stuff with no intention to use the mana, just to put it in the graveyard.
Yeah.
Because 0 mana, put something from your battlefield in the graveyard is amazing in this deck.
Yeah, and honestly, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think both of these cards are solidly cheap right now, so...
Phyrexian Altar is still up there.
Is it? Okay, yeah. Cool. Ashnod's is very cheap. I think you
like
get that card for
$3.
like $3,
yeah,
so it's very cheap.
Last I checked.
Definitely something to get your hands on, and it's also white borders.
Yeah.
Also it's a foil.
It's a foil. Woo! Open that in the box.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Love this card.
Eldrazi Monument. That card... It's not as good as it used to be in the deck's old Grenzo days, I'll admit, but it's still worth it for the sacrifice each upkeep, which is nice, and +1/+1 flying and indestructible. I still run a good handful of tokens.
Yeah.
So that's all. That'll close up the game really fast.
I love Eldrazi Monument. Run this card in I run this card in Ladies, and this card is really, really strong. I think giving your tokens +1/+1 just to make those 1/1s 2/2s is really significant. Also, flying. I mean, goblins certainly have a lot of evasion. I think that gives them evasion, and also indestructible. Like, what's not to love about Eldrazi Monument? Cool. Lightning Greaves.
That's all you need to say.
Yeah, like, there's really nothing to say about that. And the last is Vanquisher's Banner.
Vanquisher's Banner is a little mana hungry, but getting to draw a card every time you recast your goblins, because they're going to the graveyard and coming back every turn, is amazing. Card draw in this deck is pretty important if you can stomach it, because red-black is not that amazing at it.
Yeah. Without taking damage, I would really say, or discarding cards, which I guess in your case you don't really.
I don't care about that, but I don't really like the one-off card draw effects, like Tormenting Voice, Cathartic Reunion,
Faithless Looting,
Faithless Looting, or even the black ones that just deal damage. I don't like those very much because they'd have so little impact early in the game when you really want to be putting out pressure.
I get what you're saying. That makes sense. I think this card is really strong. I didn't know about this, and I don't think this card is very expensive. So
not at all.
If you want to get your hands on it. Speaking of card draw, let's talk about Phyrexian Arena. This card is really strong.
I run it in every black deck. It's amazing.
Yeah,
getting to draw an extra card each turn for only 3 mana is amazing.
Very strong. I like this card a lot. This is one of my personal favorite cards, Phyrexian Reclamation.
Yeah, actually, I didn't run this card, and then I saw it go off in a game against Tracy. So now I'm running it.
Yeah, dude, this card is nuts in so many decks, and I remember, like, Evan actually said one time when I had it out, he's like, that card's not even that good. And then I just literally proceeded to get, like, 10 things back from it. He wasn't even playing, he was watching, and he was like, oh, Phyrexian Reclamation is probably pretty good. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't play it at first because Wort returns stuff for free, but I do have 2 cards in here that are important combo pieces that Wort does not return.
That is very important, and we will talk about those when we get to creatures. Cool. This is a really strong card, Grave Pact.
Put that other one in there too.
Oh yeah,
same thing.
Good. And Dictate of Erebos.
So it's also an Aristocrats deck. So all your tokens die, and you wipe your opponent's board for and you get mana usually with Phyrexian Altar. And Skirk Prospector and Ashnod's Altar. So getting to wipe your opponent's board for virtually free is amazing.
Yeah, both these cards are extremely strong. Definitely on the more expensive side, but I very much worth it.
Yep, absolutely.
Cool. Attrition, this card also maybe a little bit pricey, but so good.
Speaking of wiping people's boards, this card, if your opponent isn't playing black, it's just pay a black, destroy target creature. And that's amazing. You don't care about the sacrifice. Not at all. Might like the sacrifice aspect too. You're like, cool, I love to sacrifice stuff. It's the same thing as like Ashnod's Altar. You can just sacrifice stuff. You can even target your own things if you just want to put stuff in the graveyard. Yeah, absolutely. The only thing you have to be careful is it does say non-black, so this card will be literally OP. This card's already pretty OP, really and it does not have tap abilities, so you can do it as many times as you need to. It's so good.
I actually have never seen this card before, and I've never seen you play it. Can you talk to me about Mind Slash? Okay.
It's a newer card in the deck, but it's basically you get every turn, or as many times as you need to, you can Thoughtseize your opponent. Actually, it is better than Thoughtseize because it hits lands.
And you don't pay the life.
And you don't pay the life. So paying a black, sacrificing a creature, and you get to tear away your opponent's combo pieces.
This is really interesting.
It's really good.
Huh, I like it, and I like the white border.
Yeah.
Cool. Now let's talk about sorceries. Ooh, just talked about this card with my, the deck tech that you guys will see before this, Chuck. And we did it on his Tesa deck, and we talked about Bone Splinters. This card's amazing.
Bone Splinters is very underrated.
I agree.
1 black mana, destroy target creature. Yeah, I don't care it's sorcery speed. I don't care about sacrificing a creature.
Yep.
That's more removal. I run a lot of removal in this deck.
I think if this card was an instant, I think this card would literally be like $15 or something crazy like that. Maybe not 15.
I don't know about that.
It would be like it would be more expensive.
It would definitely be more than a couple cents.
Yeah. Card's really good.
Card is stupid good.
Yeah. I think this card is especially really strong right now with the amount of planeswalkers running rampant. Dreadbore.
Yeah, Dreadbore. It's not as good as a card we're going to talk about here in a second, but it's very good for 2 mana to destroy everything. It destroys anything you care about, really.
Absolutely, not a whole lot to say.
Yeah, it's good removal.
Vandal Blast, also a really important card.
Vandal Blast is very good.
Yeah.
I actually have one time I was playing, I don't remember who, I want to say it was Brad, but I'm not 100% sure. And somebody put out a Mycosynth Lattice without a Darksteel Forge. So I overloaded Vandal Blast and totally, completely wiped all of my opponent's fields. So that's my hashtag blessed story with Vandal Blast.
Dude, I love it, and I also feel like our artifact removal is so much more important than enchantment removal in EDH, at least in our play. People are running so much more mana rocks that are Soul Ring and things like that you want to destroy over enchantment removal, so Vandal Blast is.
And I mean, I can't run enchantment removal. I'm in red and black.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
So I gotta overcompensate a little bit.
Good point. I love this card. Diabolic Intent.
If you want to actually put the next 3, they are all virtually the same.
Oh yeah, let's definitely, I don't know if I can fit 3 on the same screen, but let's talk about Demonic Tutor. These cards are both extremely strong. If you're wanting to dish out money, I would definitely dish out money for Demonic Tutor, but if you can't, Diabolic Edict is a great thing. It also sacks a creature, which you don't care about.
Sometimes Diabolic Intent is better.
Yeah, I agree.
It is, there's an amount of times where I prefer Diabolic Intent over Demonic Tutor.
I agree.
But both of them are very important. Because half of all my combo pieces can be easily tutored from other goblins, because they're goblin themed, but the other half usually cannot. So using either of these cards, you can get the other half of the combo piece and win the game.
Absolutely. There's not a whole lot to say. Tutoring is great. One of the best things you can do in the game.
Yeah.
Another tutor, which is Gamble.
Gamble is very good. Discarding a card at random is not amazing, but it's worth it because if you discard a goblin, which is a lot of the deck, you get it back, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Yes. Other than that, it's just more combo search.
Absolutely. Looks like the only... Oh, no, I lied. Not the only board wipe. Decree of Pain... yeah, we'll talk about Decree of Pain first.
Decree of Pain is a little expensive at 8 mana. Eventually, or usually by the time you want to cast it, though, you're there.
Yeah.
By the time everybody's got their boards out, their token armies, Decree of Pain feels really nice. And
you also can cycle it if you need to, for whatever reason. I haven't really typically seen this card being used. I haven't
cycled it very often.
You know what? You may be in a situation where it's relevant, and honestly, just drawing cards with this is really strong. I think this card's
getting to draw like 7, 8, 20 cards off of this.
Yeah.
It's not unlikely.
Yeah.
It's very good.
I like it. Blasphemous Act. I love this card.
Blasphemous Act is one of the few red board wipes, and it's a very good one at that.
Yes.
By the time you want to cast it, it costs 1 mana.
Yes.
Yeah, that's you get 13 damage. It usually hits everything.
Usually. I've definitely cast Blasphemous Act that have not hit everything, but it is a rarer thing than not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, okay, I lied. There are more board wipes. I didn't know what this card does. Kindred Dominance.
Yeah, Kindred Dominance is very good.
Why have I never seen this card before?
I don't know. It's very good. And it's a couple bucks, but it's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
It's also a little mana hungry at 7. It's worth it every time, though. Your entire board stays, their entire board goes. It's so good.
This card reminds me of, in Garrick's Wake.
Yep.
The 9-mana one, this reminds me of this a little bit. I think this card's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to say this is Mizium Mortars?
Yep,
yes?
Mizium Mortars.
Okay.
It's in Japanese because I'm a weeaboo. So it deals 4 damage to target creature at sorcery speed, but you can overload it for 6 to deal 4 damage to all creatures you don't control.
I can't believe you just called yourself a weeaboo on my YouTube channel. I'm a little...
I don't know what you're expecting. I don't know what else you're expecting.
I need to lower my expectations, apparently, yeah. This card's good.
Yeah, this card's great.
How do you feel about Chain Reaction?
I don't know what that card does.
So it's 4 mana sorcery, deal X damage to each creature where X is the number of creatures on the battlefield. It's kind of like Blasphemous Act a little bit. I like it.
Yeah.
Seems like a good card if you're running a lot of cards.
Yeah.
That may not be
I don't hate it.
Yeah. I don't hate it. I don't love it. Okay, then we have Patriarch's Bidding.
Patriarch's Bidding is a stupid good card.
Whoa!
So your opponents do get to have some stuff back, but you don't care, because you now have an army.
Yeah.
And if not an army, then you chose one of the 2 not recurable creature types to instantly win the game, being Shapeshifter and Gorgon, for the 2 combo pieces.
Right.
Yeah.
This card seems really, really strong in this deck. And also,
card...
if you're playing tribal and no one else is, it's really good.
Yeah, they usually get 1 or maybe 2 things at best.
Yeah.
If you're playing tribal, though, I'd run that every time.
Yeah. This card seems good. This card is hilarious.
Okay. So this card doesn't do anything for my strategy. However, it's a pet card of mine. I run it in as many red decks as I can. I love that card. I love this card so much.
It's just funny and chaotic.
It's just funny.
And it's a chaos card, but it's not like a dumb chaos card where it's going to make everyone mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is sometimes relevant because everybody has to lower their blockers to do it, to attack. And then your token army gets through. It's not always relevant, but it's just fun.
No, I feel like that about a lot of things. Like, sometimes you run cards that don't always are relevant in every deck, and it is what it is, so.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's move on to Instants. So,
AKA the removal package.
Yeah, I'm just gonna group these up because they're pretty similar. We got Terminate, we got Bedevil.
Bedevil is one of my favorite cards. I love this card. It's the better Dreadbore. Destroy artifact, creature, or planeswalker is awesome. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And then Terminate's really good. Can't regenerate is nice. Not the most relevant text anymore, but if you're hitting a Skittles or anything with the regenerate on it.
Azuri. I was thinking, like, if you're playing against Tribal Azuri, that's really relevant.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot to say here. Removal is removal. And then we have Tragic Slip and Malicious Affliction.
These cards are basically the same thing. Sacrifice a creature to destroy a creature. Malicious Affliction, though, hits 2 creatures.
Damn.
Which is awesome.
That is really good.
And Tragic Slip can hit Titans because minuses get around indestructible.
Did you ever read, like, Marrow's thing when someone was like, hey, why are the Eldrazi, why can they be Tragic Slipped? And he's like, because they... Oh my god, what did he say? He's like, because they are clumsy. There you go, to the Eldrazi. And I was like, that's hilarious.
I believe it.
This is really relevant for people who are running big Eldrazi, which we have in our playgroup.
Oh, yeah. There's enough Ulamogs running around.
Absolutely.